I urge my colleagues to join me in supporting my legislation, the No Fuel Credits for Battery Act. This legislation is simple. It protects the integrity of liquid fuels by clarifying that eRINs are not authorized to satisfy renewable fuel volume obligations. Efforts by the EPA to stand up this program could devalue or possibly eradicate the existing RIN market, which could be or would be replaced by the new category of eRINs. As we know, Congress never affirmatively gave authority to the EPA to allow the generation of eRINs for purposes of satisfying volume requirements under the RFS. All that was done was to direct the EPA to conduct a study and report to Congress on the feasibility of eRINs, which was never fully completed. This proposal extends far beyond the intent of the RFS and would come at the expense of liquid fuels. The RFS was designed to bring integrity to liquid fuels and biofuel refiners and is critical to the farmers in southern Indiana across the United States. 50% of the corn product in Indiana goes to ethanol. As the original statute clearly states, RIN generation was to be awarded to entities that, quote, refine, blend, or import liquid fuels. The RFS was never intended for a convoluted and complicated process that awards RINs to auto manufacturers. This effort to subsidize the entire EV charging value chain, from renewable energy developers to charging stations, could be rife with fraud and double counting like in the original RIN years ago. During our hearings with EPA this year, both the administrator and the deputy administrator acknowledged concerns that their proposal could add even more expenses to refiners, penalize liquid fuels, and make them less competitive, which could be the purpose of eRINs. This eRIN proposal seems to be nothing more than an additional funding stream to recover investments due to underwhelming EV sales, as we've discussed earlier. And while the EPA removed this provision from their RFS rule earlier this summer, I remain concerned that the administration will bypass legitimate concerns from stakeholders and finalize an eRINs proposal without any more public comment.
Good afternoon, friends. I have important news to inform you about today. The Biden administration has just unveiled their brand new plan that may benefit many Americans financially. President Biden has proposed a next step he is going to take to ensure that workers receive a pay raise to assist with the rising cost of living in the United States. But several lawmakers have already pushed back on this proposal, as it would cost billions of dollars. My dear friends, please make sure that you watch until the end of this video. Also, this Friday and every Friday, I will be announcing several winners for the Walmart gift card giveaway. If you would like to enter these weekly giveaway, friends, all you have to do is click and like several of my videos, and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you comment on, dearest friends, the greater your chances of winning the giveaways. President Biden has officially announced his plans for a federal pay raise next year, effective January 1st, 2024. Most civilian employees on the general schedule will, as expected, receive an average 5.2% pay raise in 2024. According to the alternative pay plan that Biden submitted to congressional leaders this week, the percentage accounts for a 4.7% across-the-board raise. This is plus a 0.5% average locality pay adjustment, totaling a 5.2% federal pay raise. Biden initially proposed a 5.2% average pay increase for federal employees as part of the fiscal 2024 budget requests. But this alternative pay plan is a first indication of the raise's breakdown between a base pay increase and a locality pay adjustment. The raise will take effect unless Congress enacts a different pay scheme for 2024. And so far, both the House and Senate spending packages are silent on the civilian federal pay raise, which usually indicates an endorsement of the administration's plans. A 5.2% raise would be the biggest pay boost for federal employees since the Carter administration offered up to 9.1% in 1980. Federal employees received a 4.6% average pay raise at the start of 2023 and a 2.7% raise in 2022. Biden said the 5.2% pay raise percentage will help attract, recruit, and retain a skilled federal workforce. Jason Miller, the Office of Management and Budget Deputy Director for Management, said the administration's approach with the 5.2% federal pay raise also aims to help agencies compete with the private sector for talent. The planned pay raise for 2024 is an average. Some federal employees will receive slightly more, and others will receive a little less than 5.2%. Biden did not specifically point to the reason behind issuing the alternative pay plan, but notably it would cost about $19.2 billion to bring the public-private wage gap to just 5%. Also, friends, according to top economists, student loan payments jumped ahead of pre-crisis levels in the weeks ahead of payments becoming due again in October, after a very lengthy pause. Payments rose to about $150 billion annualized rate, or about twice the pre-crisis rate, and this is based on weekly payments to the Federal Education Department. How people handle student loans, which total $1.7 trillion spread across more than 40 million Americans, could be a barometer for which way the U.S. economy could be headed. Early voluntary payments could be seen as a sign of financially healthy consumers. But looking closer, Goldman Sachs says the situation may not be as rosy as it looks. The surge in payments is likely because a small share of borrowers was paying down principal on their loans before interest began accruing again on September 1st. Surveys consistently show that most Americans are already financially strapped after 2 years of high inflation. Of 2,000 borrowers surveyed in late July, 53% were already struggling to pay their other bills, and 45% expected to go delinquent on their student loan payments once the forbearance ends. Americans will likely feel more pinched with the burden of another monthly bill. During the 12-month grace period, student loan borrowers will not be reported to credit agencies or be considered delinquent if they miss any payment. However, interest will continue to accrue on their balances. One economist has told CNN News that though the economy will slow because people will have less to spend, he says the student loan payment restart should slow economic growth to 1.3% in the final 3 months of the year, from a 2.8% clip in the prior 3 months. Well, my beautiful and my most amazing friends, that is the end of my daily stimulus update video for today. My dear friends, thank you so much for joining me here this Labor Day weekend. To say thank you and to show my appreciation to all of you, I will be announcing several winners every Friday for the Walmart gift card giveaway. My dear friends, if you would like to enter these weekly giveaways, please click and like several of my videos, and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you comment on, dearest friends, the greater your chances of winning the weekly giveaways. Thank you and have a wonderful and very blessed week.